Welcome to the Narrate podcast, where we aim to tell God's story with our lives. We'll be continuing to post the Sunday message each week, but we want to dive a little deeper and offer some content to supplement your life with God, and that's where our Beyond Sunday series comes in. Join Adam and Narrate staff as they provide thoughtful discussions, ideas, and interviews that go beyond the message you'll hear on Sunday.
Hi, so I'm sitting here with Gay, the woman, the myth, the legend, who serves our babies and families so very, very, very well. If you have a baby in that space or have had in the past, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you have not, then maybe someday you will, and that's not to assume that you should. But Gay does a great job with our babies, like as long as they have diapers, they're with you, right? Is that the idea?
That's right.
Okay. So we as a staff were talking a couple months ago about Gay has such strong convictions around raising non-anxious babies and kind of just things that you see in dynamics without being judgmental, just to go like insights that you have as to what you think will help raise non-anxious humans. Is that the right way to put that?
Well, sure, but I mean, we all have different levels of anxiousness, and so sometimes you don't get to choose whether you get an anxious child or not. And a lot of it isn't about what we do; it's what we do with what we have. I mean, there's a difference.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, I would say I'm more anxious no matter what kind of parenting I received.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but to that end, you have thoughts around. Here's what you find to be helpful. How would you say that? How do we maximize a person's non-anxious potential?
Not to take a child's anxiousness personally and think that you're the savior for that person. Anxiousness comes in all different forms, and yet we just need to love and we need to care for, but we don't need to save people. I think I've learned that with my children, and I think it's a really important lesson all the way through their life. You know, we need to protect them, but we don't need to save them.
What is that? We don't need to save them. Say more about
save them from suffering, or save them from crying, or save them from. We have to protect them from being hurt. That's something, but we don't have to save them from being sad. We can't. I just don't feel like we can circumvent everything to the point where our children have this idyllic life, which I'm not sure is good for us anyway. But it's a long past since I've had little children. But what I see in the nursery is when the parent is anxious, when the parent is upset that, the baby's crying, or the child is anxious that I'm leaving, and that bothers them, and they want to save them at that moment. They want to gather them and not have them go through that. They're not protecting them. They're using. I think that I don't want parents to need their children so much to be happy or to be content. I want them to know that if they want to go to church and be an adult and they want to leave their children, they need to stick to that commitment.
Because the alternative, what do you see?
I see children being anxious and upset, and then the parent comes back and is anxious and upset, and it just escalates the whole thing. I mean, if they don't want to leave them, then they shouldn't leave them. If they do want to leave them, then they need to stand firm. Bye, we'll be back. We'll come back. We're coming back. I mean, I always tell them that, if they're crying, I always say, they'll always come back.
You tell the baby that?
Yes.
Yeah.
They're their baby, their boy, their girl. They always come back for you. You're special to them. I tell them things like that, and most of the time they listen. And
how long does it take them in that situation to calm down?
If the parent doesn't come back, it's within 5 minutes. If the parent comes back, then it's kind of a lost deal for that day. Because
the parent will step around the corner and they'll listen to them cry?
Or they'll come back to look and make sure they're not crying.
And then their baby sees that.
And I always say, we're going to call you if, we don't let them cry the whole time. We don't let them cry for 20 minutes. We just don't.
When's the last time a baby cried for 20 minutes? Does it
Boy,
happen?
I can't quite put my finger on who it was, but the parent did say, "I want to leave them." I said, "Okay, we'll stay with them then." And we just kept telling them, and then the next time they came, they were perfectly happy because they understood the system. And I know how hard it is to feel like you have what it takes to make a child content and not give it to them. But it's a gift to them to know that you're an adult, that you have needs. You're an adult, you have life beyond who they are. I mean, it doesn't seem like it once you have children, but you do. And you want to make sure they know that too. Because someday, you may not have them. They may not have you. And it's important that we establish something that's solid between them.
Well, because aren't you also, I mean, I'm at the risk of putting words in your mouth, but I guess I'll just share this opinion and then you can come back. If every time they're upset you're bailing them out, then you're also giving them, you're hardwired in their brain that they don't have the ability to self-regulate.
Right. And they don't have the responsibility either.
What do you mean, the responsibility?
To take care of how they feel.
So you can
to take care of how they spend their money, to take care of their behavior at school, to take care of anything you might bail them from that only handicaps them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all different levels, and every parent makes 1,000 mistakes.
Totally, and it's really hard to watch your kids suffer.
Right, and it's really hard to say, I could bail you out of here, but I'm choosing not to.
Yeah. Oh man, that's so hard.
Yeah, it is. If you have the money or the time or or whatever,
it's
the
way
resource.
harder with your adult kid, I think, than your infant.
Absolutely. But I think from the beginning, they do trust you. They do believe in you.
You said at the beginning that different humans have different, I guess, innate anxiety levels. Can you see that?
In children, yes.
In a 6-month-old?
Yes, you can.
So on the one hand, there's like, okay, there's nothing you can do about this, so you're just more anxious. I mean, at least that aspect of it.
You can look them eye to eye and tell them it'll be okay and that they're going to come back. They understand everything at 6 months, everything. So, I mean, that's all we do is we just have really great volunteers that comfort and talk to them, and if they feel like they're not doing a good job, they hand them off to someone else, and we tag team. And I feel like what one person has to give to somebody, the other person doesn't.
But you'll literally just look at a 6-month-old and go like, you don't have to cry. They'll be back.
Yeah, well, I always pick them up too.
And does that help them?
Yeah, I pick them up and tell them it'll be okay. Comfort them. I mean, this is beginning. This is beginning steps for these guys. If they don't have parents or grandparents in the vicinity, or if they don't.
I mean, getting dropped off. Leaving their kid.
Even daycare is a different situation. That's a routine, and that's kind of what I encourage parents to think about. That if they want to come to church and absorb all that, and they want their children to be cared for, they have to create a routine, and the child will oblige to that. They will.
Do you see a difference then in the behavior of the babies and toddlers that are there every week versus they're there periodically?
Absolutely.
What is the difference?
Well, the difference is they're not so secure, the ones that don't come very often. And but really, most of them do great anymore. Every once in a while we have a wild card, but generally speaking, they all do great. Even when one of them cries, the other ones look at them like, what's that all about? What were we doing now?
It doesn't create this avalanche of emotion.
No. No, I have probably the best group of people I've ever encountered as far as being good for their word, as far as commitment, and really, really caring about the babies and the little ones, and then the parents and the families. They really care that these parents have a break.
So that's the vision that they have, is the vision of what end they're serving.
Yeah.
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 I mean, that's always been my vision, because I remember being a mother of 4 children, young children, and how overwhelming it was, and just a little break was really great. But and especially with community and church, I think that's important.
So do you recruit? How do you acquire teammates? People on the nursery?
Well, most of them will come to me through cards, but a lot of them were already in the nursery when I took over, when I took the job. But a lot of them, I meet with them. They just fall in love with that age group. People love that age group, and I love that age group. So it seems like people that really love that age group, like, they do good because they're happy.
Do you ever have to train the volunteers on how to create the non-anxious environment that you want to create?
No, I don't. I really don't do much training. I just do what I do, I guess.
So you just model.
Yeah. And the teen girls that I have are really, really fun. They sit on the floor and they're just so good with them. They're not any way adult, and I love it. Wow. The kids see that difference.
Okay, so let's quick list this, like the things that you think parents can do to help their kids manage their anxieties as it relates to the nursery are. What would that be?
If a parent makes a decision, we're going to go out and go dancing, and we're going to go out to dinner, and we're going to leave the kids with a babysitter. If they decide that, just like if they decide to go to Narrate Church or anywhere, if they decide that and the child throws a fit and they give in to that fit, it'll be the next time. You won't get over it. It compounds. And I feel like you have to somehow train the children that you are the adult, you are the boss, and nobody likes those words, and nobody likes to be those words. But I feel like it's really strong relationship building if you can be consistent with your children. That you mean what you say, and you love them more than anything, but you're still going to do what you think is right.
Yeah.
I think that's really important. And I think we get kind of pushed around or slapped around thinking, oh my gosh, I'm causing upset to my children. Well, that's not a bad thing. The children have to learn that they can trust their parents' decisions.
Okay, so now push that into middle school, and the kid comes home and they're like, I'm the only one without a cell phone. But the parents have decided you're not getting a cell phone.
They need to stick to their guns. They need to, especially with cell phones.
So when then does a parent, because that totally makes sense, how does it make room though to also go like, man, I think I might have been wrong on this one?
Well, and just to confess it. I think it's okay to confess you were wrong.
Like we always said no to this, but I think we're going to say yes to this now.
Yeah. I think that teaches the children that we're not absolute. We're not stubborn. We can bend with good reason and such.
Sure.
There's always a way for that.
But you don't bend in the midst of a fit.
No. Fits are really manipulative unless the child's sick or hurt.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
They're just manipulating,
Which we're all pretty good at.
Right. And I have to confess, I was really not a very nice child.
Why?
Well, because I was indulged. I was given anything I wanted if I begged and threw a big enough fit.
Oh, so this is like you're preaching to yourself because you're the one that fits were effective.
Right.
Yeah. How old were you when you realized that?
Well, when I was out of control teen, and I wanted somebody to put their authority over me, but nobody would.
Wow.
So don't wait. I think as the children are little, just be the parent, the loving, kind parent. Then you want the best for your children. And it's hard work. It's impossible work.
Yeah.
But to still stick with it and know that you're the one that was given the responsibility to care for them, and raise them well.
Yeah, so you're thinking about that new parent who's got their first newborn baby. What would be your sage advice?
Surround yourself with others that know you and love you, and just make sure that you stay vulnerable.
To who? Just other people?
To your friends, to your family. Sometimes it's family, sometimes it's just friends. Sometimes it's just people you meet at the library. Whatever. Just make sure that you reach and get beyond those.
That's really fun.
Those four walls, because it can be really confusing.
Well, what's funny about that is I often will hear, like a few times a year, from, it's always women that talk about, like, they dislike like mother type gatherings, and it's always this, if they have that opinion, it's always from the same place, and that is they're all fake. They all just get together and talk about how good it is and how fun it is. And I actually had someone say this, like, because we have this tradition of different women speaking on Mother's Day, and I heard someone say, like, I just want to hear from the mom that gets up there and says, this is brutal. But that seems like that's what you're speaking into when you say surround yourself with people.
Yeah, and not just, and people that you can trust that they're going to be truthful with you. Sometimes that will involve your children and sometimes it won't, but I had all different ages of friends when I was young growing up with my kids. I had all ages. I had a woman that was in her 60s who led a Bible study. And I had friends my age. I had friends that were older than me. I had women that had their kids were teens, and I think that's where the balance comes in. And I still feel that way. I still feel like I have a wide range of different age friends, and I cherish them. I don't think I could sit around with a bunch of people at 70 and enjoy myself half as much as I do the other way.
That's good. I like that. Yeah, you've done a remarkable job of staying involved and in community.
Well, I believe in it, Adam. I really believe in it.
And good job with your team. I mean, that's a great team.
I put out an email yesterday about some slots that I needed and help with. And I just had email after email, 8 emails of all people. I'll do. Wow. And, I know that I can't expect that, but when I need it, it's there.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Well, to everyone listening who's on Gay's team, thank you.
Yeah.
It's not lost on any of us how many babies you guys have Sunday in and Sunday out, so thanks. Okay, well, non-anxious babies from the sage wisdom of Gay Eyman. Thank you. Thanks for serving babies.
Yeah, my
families.
pleasure. Total my pleasure.
If you'd like to learn more about Narrate Church, find us online at narratechurch.org.
You can also look us up on Facebook or Instagram. Thanks for listening.